Hi, welcome back to EducateTube.com. My name is Sipsky, your host. Today I'll be talking about Blu Ray Disc and why it is very useful and valuable for storing your data and video. Okay, so let's talk about it right now. Okay, why is a Blu Ray better, or a better option anyway, than a hard drive and SSD drive? Well, first of all, is cost. I know that a hard drive has gone down in price as well as SSD drive, but the price that has been dropped lately is close to if you're talking about dollar per gigabyte, right? Blu-ray, this one especially, the one I bought here, 50 discs. Okay, this is a Ray Data, 50 discs for $25 Canadian, and this means that this single disc cost me only 50 cents. Okay, so it cost me 50 cents. That's about 2 cents per gigabytes. That is extremely cheap. Now compared to a hard drive, you're looking at maybe 4 cents per gigabytes, right? Because normally when you buy, hard drive, you're talking about 4 terabyte or 5 terabyte, and SSD card or SSD drive is, I think it's at least 2-3 times more expensive than that. So we're not going to talk about SSD card or drive. It's because it's still very expensive. Now the advantage, of course, with SSD drive is that it's very fast. Access to the data is fast, right? And that's the key to that. That's why it's so expensive. But I think eventually it will drop down in price. Now in terms of its data consistency, how long it can preserve data, there is no set rule on this. In fact, most manufacturers will tell you that they will only have warranty on these hard drive or SSD drive only up to 5 years, and that's the same thing with the Blu-ray disc. Right now, there's something a special disc called M disc, which according to the manufacturers say it will last for 1,000 years. But I don't know about that one. But I have seen videos that demonstrate how much it can handle. I was really impressed with it. But there is a DVD and Blu-ray M disc, so you can look that out, but it's quite expensive. Right now I'm just going to talk about the Blu-ray standard disc, the 25 gigabytes single layer. This one is a 4 times writing, and so it's quite affordable, 50 cents. Okay, now when you do store data onto this up to 25 gigabytes, make sure that your computer, your main computer, whether it's desktop or laptop, has Blu-ray recorder, obviously, right? So you make sure you have that. I have a desktop that I just recently installed an internal Blu-ray recorder. It's from LG. Put it in there. It can write up to, I think, 14 times speed. Okay, so this is a bit slow. It's only 4 times. So in the future, might buy a more expensive disc that can do 10 times, right? So you have that on your main computer, like your desktop. Then what I did was I bought the second DVD recorder, which is external. This allows me to hook up to any of my laptops, so I can read and write the Blu-ray disc. So if you are going to take Blu-ray as your way of storing data, chunk of data, then do that. Okay, so have one internal Blu-ray recorder in your main desktop, and then have another one you bought externally, Blu-ray player or recorder, and you can use that to hook up to your laptop and all that, and then you can access these information, this data, and the Blu-ray. Now another advantage of Blu-ray disc is that you can if you burn let's say pictures or video, most Blu-ray player can view it. Okay, so that's amazing. Now the video is 1080p full HD. The DVD on the other hand is only 480p. So the quality difference, image quality anyway, is like Blu-ray is 4 times more better, right? So this is why I think Blu-ray, if you're talking about in the future, the Blu-ray will remain, whereas DVD will eventually become obsolete due to the fact that when you're burning images or video especially, right? You can burn full HD 1080p, where DVD cannot do that. Okay, the quality is not as good. So when you're giving this to your clients, for example, they would actually prefer you give them highest quality as possible on video. And if you give them Blu-ray, and I think in the future most people, if they have like those disc player, it will be a Blu-ray player, because Blu-ray player is compatible with DVD and Blu-ray disc, right? Whereas a DVD player is compatible with only DVD disc but not Blu-ray. So if people are replacing their disc player, they're probably, and I think manufacturers too, they're probably only going to make Blu-ray player. It makes more sense to do that. The quality on this thing is amazing. Now it's amazing because you think about maybe 5-6 years ago, Hollywood studio will be the only one who can access burning Blu-ray, right, quality image or video onto the disc, where now we as a consumer has ability to do that, and cost us less than, for example, my external Blu-ray recorder only cost me $120, and my internal Blu-ray recorder only cost me less than $70. So the technology is there and it's so cheap, right? And 50 cents per disc for 25 gigabytes, that's 2 cents per gigabyte. That's just amazing. Okay, that's cheap. Even if the hard drive comes down in price, the fact that this thing is like 25 gigabytes and it's in little chunks of information that's stored, I think it's better than having a hard drive that has 5 terabyte. And I'm talking about you have to buy 4 or 5 terabyte for it to be equally as cost effective as a one single Blu-ray disc when you buy in the 50s, right? So let's say you have a 4 or 5 terabyte of data on a hard drive. If, say, something happens to that single hard drive, you lose a lot of your information there. That's 4 or 5 terabyte of information. Whereas, you think about Blu-ray disc, if one of them gets scratched, that's only 25 gigabytes of data, and then you can back up this disc with another disc, right? So easy and so affordable, 50 cents. Whereas a hard drive, if it's 4 terabyte, you're looking about $150 to $200. And if something, if you want to back that up, you're going to have to pay another $200 worth of hard drive. And again, you got to replicate that. Okay, so that's why I'm thinking, like, I stored bits of information onto this. In fact, with 25 gigabytes, you can store up to 2 hours worth of full HD video on this. Okay, so that's amazing, and your clients will really appreciate it when they put this on their Blu-ray player and they're watching their, let's say, wedding video, and they say, wow, what a quality, looks like Hollywood style filming, especially if you know how to color grade and all that as well, right? And you have a nice menu and all that, make it really impressive, especially giving them a disc. I think they'll really appreciate it when you make like nice images on the disc and all that. It looks quite professional. And I would prefer that over a thumb disc. Some people are giving USB thumb disc to their clients, but remember, 32 gigabytes thumb disc costs almost $15, whereas this only costs you 50 cents. So would you rather pay $15 or 50 cents, right? You'll save almost $14.50, and that's in your pocket. And in addition, if something happened to that thumb drive, let's say they erase the file, right? Then you're in trouble, or they're in trouble. But they cannot erase information on this read-only disk, because once you write it once, then they can only read it. In other words, they can only play it. They cannot write over it. So that's another advantage, that this information is kind of safe. Okay? As long as they store it in a proper place, and put it away from heat and moisture, I think it's going to last quite a long time. Now, there is an issue with a DVD, because I have a DVD disc that was 14 years old, and I noticed on the edges it start to rot. It looks like rotting, right? What happened is moisture and then temperature opens up the edges, and some of the dye it start to wear out, and you can see it on my DVD disc, and the data cannot be accessed around the outer edges. I don't notice that with the Blu-ray, because I have Blu-ray disc and it's not quite long. I have it only for the last 3-4 years, whereas my my DVD disc, I had it for 14-15 years, and so I start to see that phenomenon. But I have a solution to that, and I'll explain that in my next video on how to preserve your data on DVD as well as your Blu-ray, and have a strategy to do that. So there's a way, there's a solution actually, and that will keep your costs down even further. All right, and then also protect your data and videos or audio, whatever you want to store in here. In fact, just a fun fact, I calculate that if you have an audio MP3 music, okay, so one song, for example, is MP3 song, you can literally store 5,000 MP3 songs onto this Blu-ray disc. 5,000, okay, that's quite amazing. And in fact, it depends on the quality, how much, how the bit rate of that audio system. You can, I'm thinking between 5,000 to 6,000 songs onto this Blu-ray disc. 25 gigabytes of data, okay, audio data anyway on that. Anyway, we'll talk about how to prevent rotting, or at least even if it rots, how to counteract that if you're going to store your data. And I'll show you how to do that next week. Okay, thanks for watching. EducateTube.com.